Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're back, man. Episode 288.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. All right. The new McChicken. All right. I don't get too excited yet. Okay. Let me say what I'm about to say before you guys get all juiced up over this new grand chicken sandwich from McDonald's. Let me read the little deal about it here. All right. McDonald's tests new Grand McChicken. Testing the McChicken with the larger, wider chicken patty called the Grand McChicken in several markets, including Reno, Nevada, as well as in the Bakersfield, Chico, Fresno, and Sacramento areas of California. So Bakersfield, we're a part of that market.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're so fat, they're like, hey, fuck it. They'll eat it.
But we definitely are a place. We're like a hub to I don't know if it's the diversity here or what, but we definitely get a lot of the early test foods.
The Doritos Locos Tacos here first.
Yeah.
Yeah, they figure like, hey, those fuckers will eat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, beyond the larger breaded patty, the Grand McChicken appears to include the same shredded lettuce, mayo, and toasted plain bun as a regular McChicken. As one location in Reno, the Grand McChicken is priced at $4.69. That is too fucking expensive. While a regular McChicken is $3.39. That is still too expensive.
Yeah.
This is not a $3 sandwich. And you guys can call me cheap, but goddamn. All right, and a crispy McChicken sandwich, which comes with a chicken fillet rather than a chicken patty, $4.89. The Grand McChicken takes a similar tack as a Grand Mac, which was a larger, wider version of a Big Mac. Although the Grand Mac also came with a wider bun.
Yeah, the Grand Mac.
I don't remember that. I remember the Big and Tasty back in the day.
I remember the Big and Tasty.
Yeah, I remember my teacher back in the day, Roger Stillman. Shout out to Roger Stillman.
Yeah. The drafting teacher.
Yeah, the architectural drafting. Mm-hmm. But he said he came back from lunch. He's like, I had the Big and Tasty from McDonald's. It was more like small and nasty. But yeah, this is what they do, man. They just sold us an iPhone fucking 15. This is a McChicken 15. That's all the fuck it is. Mm-hmm. It's the same product. They're just justifying the price hike for a new item. Mm-hmm. Like McDonald's is wild, yo. Like when you think about what they used to do, and then recently they were selling 50-cent burgers online, but you had to have the app, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the fucked up part. I remember back in 2000 or 2001 when I was in high school, they had 39-cent like cheeseburgers that were like on Thursday, and then like on Tuesday they had 29-cent like regular hamburgers, and it was unlimited. You get as many as you wanted. Mm-hmm. But now McDonald's selling 50-cent burgers, but you're limited to one.
That's trash.
Think about how selfish you got to be. Like what happened so different between 2001 and 2023 to where you only could give away one burger? It's just greed.
Yeah.
That's all. It's just corporate greed, and these dick suckers are charging you $5 for one goddamn McChicken.
I will say that it's a little deeper than just greed. Because this happened here locally. So, the prices have to go up. And for me personally, I'm not blaming anybody just because I understand. McDonald's, they make a lot of money, but also they're a business. So they're primarily concerned as a CEO and these upper executives. They're primarily concerned with how they're going to sell more burgers and how to keep their bottom line as low as possible. But I say that to say that there was a business here locally, a Rio Bowl business. Shout out to Justin Cummings. He was what they used to do is they used to sell if you buy like 4 bowls, you'd get like a point system or a reward system where after the 4th bowl you'll get like a free small one or something like that, or you'll get a discounted price on the large or the medium. But last week he discontinued it because he was, and then I asked him about it later, and he was saying that it just wasn't really making sense for us. We were losing so much money trying to keep this promotion going, so we just had to discontinue it because basically you're getting an entirely free bowl and people are buying those things pretty fast, and he was just saying like it just didn't make sense financially for us to do it, and we're losing a lot of money. So that happens on this level, but it's magnified, on the McDonald's level as well.
At a corporate level, it's a little different with these major companies because there's a guy that's really popular right now on strike on TikTok. I can't remember the company, but the overall the company, all this like the CEOs and upper management, they got 40% raises over like a 4 or 5 year span, and they literally got 4% raises over the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to understand that there is a element of greed to this shit.
Yeah.
And yes, they have a business to run and whatnot, but these motherfuckers, okay, there was some public, like some government officials, I think it was at a local level, and they gave themselves, like they wanted to get rid of school lunches. It was, I forgot where it was. It might have been in Florida or I can't remember where it was. They wanted to get rid of school lunches, but the same local like government officials gave themselves a lunch stipend. They was getting their lunch paid for, but they wanted to get rid of fucking school lunches. So these are the motherfuckers you're dealing with at a corporate level.
Yeah.
Like you're dealing with the Brett Favres at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They taking this McChicken money and they building a rocket somewhere. They about to go in the out. They finna make so much money off these McChickens, man. This is about to be like the crack epidemic in 1985, bro. You thought the crack epidemic was bad? This McChicken epidemic is about to be crazy.
It's just too expensive, though.
I think for me, gonna be people sucking dick over these McChickens, man.
I think for me, like, I understand the business side of it, so I'm not concerned about the prices, like blaming or pointing the finger at anybody. But I'm just concerned about the prices as far as a culture. Like McDonald's used to be the place where, like, if you ain't have enough. Like, if you ain't have a lot of money,
that's what I'm saying.
McDonald's is a place where, like, when I was in the 6th grade, my friend's mom busts us down with like $15, and then that's when I discovered the McDouble with the mac sauce on it.
Yes, Keith got me strung out on that shit.
But we could go there, get a McDouble for $1, put the mac sauce on it for 50 cents.
Yes,
and you got like a handful of burgers for less than $10. So
yes.
But now McDonald's is a real decision. Like you really gotta make a real life decision. Like, yo, am I going to, spend $15 on feeding myself and
insane.
Whatever? Yeah, it doesn't really have the same appeal to it. So I think that I don't know if I was McDonald's, I would figure out a way to just keep the prices. It's just like the Arizona tea. I don't know how the Arizona tea is still just $1 or 99 cents
because they reduced the fluid ounces.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think if McDonald's did somewhere they made the patty thinner or use a thinner slice of cheese or whatever the case may be, like then it would make sense. But I think that them raising the prices, it just changes the culture of if you're gonna spend $4.69 on a sandwich, you might as well go to a place that has like a higher quality, sandwich than McDonald's.
Arizona iced tea or the fruit drinks, they have remained that price because they removed 2 ounces. So they were 24 ounce cans. Now they're 22 ounces.
Yeah.
So I seen some of those last night. I was a little enticed to get them, but I mean, there's just so much sugar in them. It's kind of like, nah, man, we can't do that. But they're fucking good. I had the watermelon one. Oh my God. Probably about 8 months ago, I just said, fuck it. I got like the watermelon one.
Yeah.
I think I had a watermelon or a grape, one of them. No, I had the fruit punch. Oh my God.
Fire.
That fruit punch, I could just feel all the sugar. It was so slimy, but it was good.
Well, me and my girl, we went on a road trip and it was, we bought the Arnold Palmer, the half lemonade, half tea, and it was actually the light versions. I don't even know if they sell regular versions, but it was like the Arnold Palmer light or whatever, like less sugar, and fire. That's all I gotta say. It was fire. I don't even know how to explain it, but it was just like the perfect blend of like sweetness and tea. It was fire.
Yeah, and then you just slurping down, and then you read the chemicals, and you're like, man, this is perfectly blended chemicals.
Yeah.
Then you turn around and they say 1% juice. So if it's only 1% juice, what's 99% of everything else?
Yeah, I don't know.
The fuck am I drinking?
Chemicals.
It'll be like Exymazyme 775, Russian slime 457. You'd be like, damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have these. Have you ever seen like those commercials where they're like testing out the new flavor for like a Cheez-It or something like that. And instead of coming in like something that a chef would wear, like a apron or something like that, they're coming in like lab coats.
Exactly.
So that's how you know we're just eating chemicals.
Something ain't right. It's like, don't stand too close to it. We drinking anthrax. This is straight chemical warfare right here.
Man.
Yeah, man. I went to sleep and the whole room glowed green. I'm like, nigga, I'm radioactive in this bitch. I'm not drinking that. I ain't drinking that Arnold Palmer no more. Yeah, but I mean, hey, I think about, we're one of the last generations, me and you, Keith, to ever experience a 99-cent menu and how epic it felt to do that at multiple places.
Yeah, it was a couple different places. Yeah.
Taco Bell had a fire. They still got some shit for cheap now, but they had a fire 99-cent menu back in the day. Jack in the Box had a fire 99-cent menu. McDonald's probably might have had the best.
Yeah.
Wendy's had a 99
McDonald's, I don't know if they invented it, but they did it the best for sure.
Oh man.
The dollar menu, it was a thing. And it was a thing so much to where
you make a build a meal.
But if you went to Burger King or if you went anywhere else and you ain't had no bread, the first thing you would look at is like, where y'all dollar menu at? And you would look across the thing and see. And Burger King had their own little value menu. You get the little rodeo burger for like $129.
Yeah.
You get some onion rings and fries and stuff like that. But yeah, it's different now, man.
Yeah, it is. It's different, dude. That's an understatement. But like back then, you could get a cheeseburger, right? And I think just a cheeseburger, not a double. I think a cheeseburger was
less than $1.
Yes, I think it's like 85 cents, bro.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm thinking like 89. That's
yeah.
what popped in my head, but yeah, maybe 85.
Like 89 cents. So it was like, that was like 89 cents. And then they had a fry. That was literally $1. They had a dollar fry back then.
Yeah.
So if you bought a dollar fry and you bought 3 burgers, let's say you got 2 McChickens and that, you had a whole meal for a couple bucks. You know what's funny about our parents, though? This is how you know you grew up in poverty. You ever had your parents tell you, like, we ain't got McDonald's money right now. We going home to eat, right? Mm-hmm. Man, I went back and looked at the menu from the 90s. I'm like, y'all was just broke. Nigga, they had meals for $2.79. They had meals for $3.29.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't have $3.29, bro?
But that was a good decision, though. Like, $3.29 is, back in the day, it wasn't that much money. But at the same time, like, they thinking forward, and that's the advice that
hell no.
That's the advice that a lot of people should take now, because a lot of people eat out way too much.
But don't blame and say we don't got McDonald's money. Y'all, we just live in poverty. We just poor.
That you would have appreciated that answer better. Like, Eddie, I know you want a Happy Meal.
I would have not comprehended it, but I still would have been like, "Fuck, Mom, Dad, come on, Dad, man."
But it's more than just the McDonald's money. It's like rent, PG&E, all this other stuff.
I think about the price of shit back then, and it was wild, bro. Like the amount of money people paid for rent and everything was just low across the board.
Yeah.
Like it was people, bro, this is how you know the economy and the rate of pay versus the cost of things is way out of whack. It ain't got nothing to do with people like, well, nobody's ambitious anymore. Nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
Bruh. There was a woman that was on TikTok. She said, when I was 19, I had a job at Taco Bell. Then I got my own apartment and I paid my car payment. She literally paid for an apartment and a car payment working at Taco Bell.
Bro.
In the 90s. It's like 91.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude.
Yeah,
like,
you could do that back in the day.
Not now, man.
Yeah.
Not now. You got to make some money. You got to make it. You got to make a substantial amount of money to stay ahead of, the way the market is, bro.
Yeah, everything is just extremely expensive, man. And it's not like, it would be different if it was just one or two things, like if it was just the rent was going up, but it's across the board. And like we talked about, everything from food to clothes to your insurance to the cost of, the only thing that's still low-key cheap, and I think that's going to change, and it's already starting to change, is like streaming services.
No.
They're relatively cheap. Like if you for example, if you want to stream music on Tidal, it's $9.99 every month. That's not that expensive. if you want to if you want to get Hulu, they had a deal like last year where you only paying like $2 a month, something like that. That's like dirt cheap, but it hasn't really caught up with the times yet. So I think in 3 or 4 years, I don't know how much Netflix is, but I think Netflix is going to be like $30. It's going to start to trickle back up to where the reason we left regular cable is because it was like $80 a month. But I think once people start to once the advertisements and everything start to catch up and the inflation start to catch up with the streaming service, because I think they're losing money right now, and they're okay with that because they're building their subscription base. But I think once they capture everybody and get everybody reeled in, and then it's enough content not for people not to get bored or tired of watching stuff, then they're going to start upping in prices.
Subscription services are not cheap because you don't buy one, you got multiple, so it all adds up. Independently, you might pay $2.99, but you got 4 other apps that's $2.99. Then you got this one, that one, and that one. But we as humans, we don't have one streaming service. So that's why you got to go to Rocket Money and delete some of these motherfuckers because you don't need them all.
You don't. I mean, no one watches all that stuff anyways. But I think that. But the thing about it is, Netflix doesn't care how much you're paying for Disney Plus.
100%.
They're their own entity, so they're gonna charge whatever they want to charge, and their price is gonna be. They're at the forefront because they're the highest one. So wherever they go or wherever they stop is where everybody else is going to keep.
They
going.
Justify it by their content, though. Mm-hmm. They basically state like, "Hey, we're bringing new this, we're bringing new that." I remember when I was paying. I was paying the lowest I remember paying for Netflix was like $6.99.
Yeah,
that was years ago. Then it went to $8.99.
Yeah.
Then it went to like $11.99. I was like, hold up.
The thing with Netflix though is that they don't have anything else. Like, you know what a loss leader is? No. A loss leader is like, and I don't know this to be a fact, but a loss leader, for example, for McDonald's might be their drinks. You know, it's 99 cents. Okay. It's something, basically it's a cheap thing that they can practically give away for little to no profit.
Like Costco.
Well, I don't know about that. But basically what McDonald's is doing is they're reeling you in with this $1 drink, and they can lose money on it because they know you're not going to buy just a drink. They know you're going to buy a hamburger and everything else that goes with it. So for example, with Apple TV or Disney Plus, they can essentially make content and lose money, you know, have this like semi loss leader because, they know that they make so much money on these freaking phones and these laptops and all the apps and stuff that they sell, you know, along with everything. And then, you know, once they got the subscriber base up, then they can kind of start to, you know, develop it to where it can make money.
I said Costco because that hot dog, they haven't changed the price and it's
losing
money.
Yeah. So Sam's Club too. They still got the same.
Yeah, it's something they use it's something they use the real customers in and keep them there. But I think the CEO or whoever it was, he was like, leave the fucking hot dogs alone. We're not changing the price.
Yeah, you could up the price of everything else in the store.
Them some big hot dogs too.
Them glizzies.
Them some big glizzies there. Mm-hmm. It could double as a sex toy if you really want to use it.
Glizzy Lohan.
It's like, I'm independent. Nah, man, these allergies is killing me. That and what was I gonna say? If Netflix price keep going up, they're gonna have to start showing porn. I'm dead serious.
Yeah. If Netflix, they playing. Yeah, they should. It would be too hard to keep it away from children, so I don't ever see them doing that. But if they really wanted to take it to the next level, at least do the HBO version of it, where it's like, you know how they had the soft porn on HBO, like after a certain time,
real sex and all that,
something like that. Yeah,
they need to have fuck flicks. Hey, fuck flicks 2024. let's do some Netflix. Come on, man.
I think that I don't know. I feel like it'd be $1 million ideas. What I realized, one, is that business is all about execution. So we can have our ideas all day long, but they really don't matter. Mm-hmm. The execution is the hard part. But if Netflix really were to like get into that space, the adult content space, and then they just kind of like, because you know, like you said, like those type of names that kind of sound, or they sound like parodies of Netflix or whatever, Nutflix or whatever. If they really wanted to get in that space, they can do it low key under another umbrella, like a different LLC,
something they own, but they indirectly own.
Yeah, they just pay, whatever,
butt flicks.
Yeah, exactly. They just pay the guy. They pay the CFO of a Pornhub to go and run it.
That'd be crazy. And it's got the same like genres, but it's like different, like Black Lives Matter. And,
yeah.
Because they start adding after George Floyd died, a lot of people's companies got real weird. Uh-huh. They start pandering so hard. They came out with a whole Black Lives Matter section on fucking Netflix. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
It had Black Lives Matter, then it had like the LGBT one, and then it had like some other stuff. And I'm like, I'm not like, look here, I'm just here to watch movies, man.
Yeah.
I'm just here to watch movies.
Yeah,
but like I said though, I'm dead serious. If you keep raising the price, you need to just start putting some porn on there.
Yeah.
Start giving people an incentive.
How would they keep it? How would they keep the kids out of there?
I mean, it's not hard, bro. The same way when you go to the porn sites. Are you 18?
Yeah, ask them, huh?
Yep. Are you 18?
Yeah.
I remember when I was fucking 15, 16 looking at it, I'm like, yep, I'm 18.
You know what would be crazy? You probably have to put how like they have the thing on there, like, are you still watching? Like, after it may be after like an hour of, watching the TV, or maybe like 2 or 3 hours after watching the TV show, and you ain't press pause or nothing. They ask you, are you still watching it? Mm-hmm. You would have to do that way sooner on the porn, because niggas be busting hecka fast nowadays. You'd be like 3 minutes in, are you still watching?
Oh man. Yeah. I think you could have a streaming service, but first of all, though, I don't really think you really should be paying for porn. It's free, man. Mm-hmm. There's too much free content out in the world.
Yeah, it's all stolen though.
Yeah, it's all stolen. Mm-hmm. I don't mind.
Yeah,
every now and then you got to get some entertainment somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. All right. Well, enough of that. Okay. We dove off from the McChicken on the streaming services. It was all a connected conversation, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Switching gears. Rapper Tory Lanez housed at North Kern State Prison in Delano. This is a hilarious story because, maybe 30-something miles away, you got Delano, California.
That's a hop, skip, and a jump.
And that's where Tory Lanez is at right now. Mm-hmm. Right now, Tory Lanez is getting jumped by Loma Bakers. It's like, hey, fool, you be making homes? It's like, hey, homie, hey, I'm the shot caller from Loma, homie. You gonna talk to me, homie? What's up, fool? He like, hey, look, man, look, I didn't mean it. He's like, nah, my girl likes Megan, dog, and you hit Megan, fool, so now we gotta hurt you, homie.
Nah, it'd be like this. What's up, fool? You pretty tall, but I'll still beat your ass, fool.
Nah, they ain't saying that.
That nigga Tory
is like 5'5".
That's what I'm saying. That nigga Tory Lanez taller than all the little Mexican homies in the prison.
Yeah, Tory about to get his ass whooped. Man, here's the funny one. He either gonna get jumped or he gonna turn into like a Sereno or something.
No, he not.
That should be crazy. All of a sudden, Tory Lanez rapping like, yeah, Serenos. You're like, how the fuck is he? What's going on? Send this guy back to Canada. Get him out of here.
That's funny.
Yeah. Tory seemed like the type of dude to put in work, though.
Yeah, I think he'll fight somebody.
He'll get beat up, but he the same dude that like he'll have like a little shank. He'll pull a shank out his butt and stab somebody with it.
Yeah.
What a way to go to prison, though. That's like the most cowardice thing.
I wonder how people are like. I don't know what his stay will look like, but I wonder what people think in the prison, because obviously they don't appreciate like domestic violence and stuff like So I wonder what the general population thinks of him walking through the corridors. I could see
Tory Lanez sleeping and actually having a moment of peace in Delano County Prison, and he's laying on that little mattress there. It's about 12:45 a.m. And all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, homie, hey, it's Creeper, dog. We heard about what you did to Megan, fool. You better watch your ass, motherfucker." He's like, hey, man, I'm just trying to sleep. He's like, sleep good, sleep tight, homeboy. You fucked, man. And once you go in there, bro, you ain't none of that. Ain't that music shit don't matter no more.
Yeah, not at all.
Not at all, bro.
But it might be. Who knows? Who knows what it's like? Because I know, like, when Tupac was in there, I don't know. Well, I don't know what his stay was like, but it didn't seem like it's still Tupac, even though he went to prison for sexual assault. Like, you know, it's still Tupac walking through there. So
I could see Tupac like rapping loud at night, and then everybody was like, I bet you some of the inmates that was in there at the time, they got hella stories about Tupac.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, Tupac was in there like rapping like out loud because he made a bunch of music. It's like, so many eyes full of misery up in this penitentiary trying to live my life. I'm drinking Sprite every day because they ain't got no water. It's contaminated. I'm trying to live. Oh man,
Ain't a woman in this prison. I gotta jack off.
Oh man. Oh man. So much Hennessy inside of me. I gotta pee. Urination. Raider Nation. Oh man. Tupac is so crazy. Oh man. Some of the stuff Tupac was said, like you listen to it now and you're like, what?
Yeah.
He had one song, he's like, Mama told me never stop until I bust a nut. Fuck the world if I can't just.
Yeah.
And then
your mom didn't tell you that.
Your mom didn't tell you that. Me and Desmond caught that lyric. We was like, what did he just say? There's certain shit that rappers say. It'll be wrong, but then people just repeat it. Like a comedian pointed out what Offset said. He's like, some
about the speed of the car.
I'll go to a mile a minute. He's like, you just going the speed limit. If you said I go 3 miles a minute, then it makes it more, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then Nelly was like, I'm a sucker for cornrows and manicured toes.
Yeah.
It's called a pedicure, nigga, not a manicure.
Yeah.
Pedicure is a feet.
Pac also said, now I got that thug life tatted on my chest.
And it was on the stomach. These rappers just be saying anything, man.
We say anything that rhyme.
Yeah, be anything.
Yeah.
He was like, man, I wonder if I probably was some.
But I think one of the biggest lies was like when Lil Wayne be like, I got shot and you could see the proof. But like he would say for years and years and years, he was describing him being shot as if somebody else shot him.
Right.
And then you realize he shot himself.
Shot himself in the chest.
I'm like, come on, bro.
He's like, I almost didn't make it to the hospital.
Yeah.
It was like a weird flex that he got shot. And at that time, we had a very toxic rap culture that like almost championed getting shot.
Yeah.
Like 50 Cent. How many times did he get shot? Like
nine times. Yeah.
Yeah. What goes around comes around. I got shot 9 times. He got shot down.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think the way Lil Wayne, he like just how he was telling that story, and he kind of twisted it like for a reason too.
Yeah.
Like initially he didn't come out and say it that he shot himself.
No.
Yeah.
There was a cop that saved his life too.
Yeah.
The cop that saved his life, basically after, he kept tabs on that guy. And the dude is a retired cop now. And he told him, he said, let me know if you need anything. I just want to help you. Right. He was telling the cop. He's like, I don't want anything from you, man. I don't want anything. I just want a job. The ex-cop just wanted some type of job.
He hired him?
Yeah, he hired him to do something. If let's say I'm a little kid, right? And I shoot myself or somebody shoots me and the cop saves my life, and now he's a retired cop and I'm a rapper, guess what I hire him as? My security.
Yeah.
He already saved me once.
Yeah, he could carry too.
Yeah. Yeah. That if I'm talking about like security, I would go, this is what I would do. This would be the biggest flex. Cause I know about 3 BPD, right? I play football with 2 of them. So I go to the Bakersfield Police Department, and imagine if, this is Eddie McGee a couple years from now and I'm a super multimillionaire. I would get 2 of them. I say, hey man, I'll pay you this much. How much they paying you here? All right, I'll pay you this if you want to be my security. And they would probably walk off the job.
Yeah. Probably a lot less stress.
Yeah. I'll be like, look, man, I don't need you to move mountains. You don't got to patrol nobody. Just keep me safe.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Security is different though than being a police officer. Mm-hmm. You don't I don't know how big those guys are, but at least the security that I've seen, they look like power forward / like offensive tackles.
Oh, there's some big motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm a definitely, for me though, I would hire at least one woman to be my security though. But I need a badass. I need a chick that's like a fucking MMA, ex-MMA background, boxer type, a chick that's like at least 5'10", 6 foot right in there. Because as soon as a woman come up talking shit, I'll be like, Rhonda, knock her ass out.
You gotta have a woman in there.
I gotta have big Rhonda.
Yeah.
Yep. You got it, man. Matter of fact, I might just get one of them big, strong, like women that do a bunch of deadlifts and motherfucking bench press and shit.
Yeah.
Like one of them big women that's like 6'2", 6'3". Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a good one too.
Yeah. There's probably some retired hoopers you could find out there.
I don't know, man. They don't be that tough though. I would need like a,
You trying to say women basketball players aren't tough?
Nah.
Dang.
It's something. It's something that is. There's some tough chicks out there, bro.
Yeah.
I would probably end up getting a CrossFit girl before I got a basketball player. Them CrossFit chicks be fucking stacked.
Yeah.
They be straight stacked, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and move on.
Yeah.
Switching gears. Busta Rhymes. Okay. Busta Rhymes. Recently, the rapper Busta Rhymes made some lewd gestures. He got on stage and treated the microphone like it was a penis. And here's the story. Busta Rhymes, 51-year-old rapper from Brooklyn, New York City, went viral over the weekend after being filmed flirting with a concert goer. Busta was supporting 50 Cent's Final Lap tour in Minnesota, but he may have gotten a little too carried away on stage. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary as a Touch It artist. Well, that's one of his songs. I hate when they put that in there. Artist began this hit in 2002. But things quickly took a turn for the worse after he stroked the microphone near his crotch, sticking his tongue out and pointing at the audience member. So imagine Busta Rhymes, and he's like, I'm talking to you. So he was derogative. And he had the microphone, and he was acting like he was jacking himself off. Mm-hmm. That's very suggestive. That fan concert goer could literally sue him. Mm-hmm. If that's what she wanted to do, she could. Mm-hmm. I think it's very tone deaf. I think either he was drunk or high on something. I don't know. Maybe his blood sugar was low. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with Busta. But you got to get with the times, man. That's a very outdated, grandfathered way of behavior, sir. You have to be aware of the landscape of the world. You cannot be out here doing that in front of women, man. That's going to get you canceled, sir. Mm-hmm. Right? You can't say things like, what about the old days when I could act like I was stroking my dick and no one had a problem with it?
Yeah.
That shit was weird at that time, too. Didn't Pee Wee Herman get busted jacking off, too? I think he did.
I don't know.
Yeah, he did, bro. Mm-hmm. Pee Wee Herman got busted beating his meat. But I think it was like
beating his Pee Wee.
Yeah, he was like, jacking off. But yeah, this shit was inappropriate, man. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And then his hype man was right there next to him like, let's go. Yeah. And it's like, this dude was just jacking his fake cock off, and now you over here hyping it up.
Yeah, you can't hype up
You can't hype up a nigga jacking off, man. That ain't weird. Yeah. That's like, one of us beating our meat. And then he's like, that's right. Yeah.
That's right. Welcome to A Truck Is My Podcast.
Yeah, lotion. Fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah, I think that I don't know what got into Busta Rhymes, and I don't know what made him want to do this, but I think that he definitely is living in the past. Because like you said, this is something that it's grounds, especially the way that like these fans is getting paid by people hitting them with microphones and pressing charges for all these different things.
Oh yeah,
like you literally just setting yourself up to lose like $100,000-$200,000 just for that one little gesture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's also like that's not really attractive. That was it was just weird.
It looked creepy, man.
Yeah, it wasn't really. It's not like like Usher has been known to like serenade women. I think that's the respectable way to do it. Something that just doesn't turn off the entire audience. But I just don't understand where Busta Rhymes, especially being a rapper, like, I don't know. It's just not really like, it's not the sexy thing to do at all.
This is going to sound really fucked up, what I'm about to say. And it'll make sense to some people. But overall, it's still creepy either way. But here's the truth that most people don't want to accept. You're just not handsome enough to be doing that.
Yeah, you got it. That's like a...
If you did something suggestive and you're a handsome man, chances are you might get away. If you're Michael B. Jordan or Usher and you do that same thing, the girl gonna be like,
I would say,
oh my God.
I wouldn't say Michael B. Jordan really wouldn't be in that position, but
No,
I would say you would have to be an R&B singer. I don't think you can be a rapper unless you like. It's a couple like a LL Cool J,
right.
Maybe 50 Cent, like old 50 Cent. I don't know about 50 Cent now, but yeah, you can't be no 53-year-old rapper. Like,
that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm talking about like a comparable looking person, right? I think we all have an idea of like when we crack jokes on some dude from being ugly, we know what the opposite of that looks like.
But what I'm saying is it's not about the looks. I think it's just about the genre or the space you're in. If Busta Rhymes was like an R&B singer and he was known for like serenading women, because like 90s R&B singers, a lot of them niggas was ugly, but they would have females at the shows throwing panties onto the stage.
Yeah, that is a good point.
The Casey and JoJo's and them niggas.
Yeah.
They look that girl's going crazy.
They just look real oily. Devontae said.
Yeah.
What was the lead singer of Jodeci? Was it Casey or no? It's the skinny bald nigga.
Yeah, I don't know who is who, but yeah,
the one that got I think he has an alcohol problem or something because he did a live show and he was like, "What can I say?" I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so terrible."
A lot of pills, a lot of drugs,
a lot of drugs, alcohol. Man.
Yeah,
that was a rough time, man. A lot of these artists got to stop doing so much drugs, dude.
Yeah, it's that lifestyle. I don't know what happens. It's like it ain't like a 90s R&B singer and drugs go hand in hand.
I think there's an element of just reality. Like you're right. You know, if you're an R&B singer, possibly, whatever. And I think the looks play into it. I think overall, just it's overly suggestive and it's inappropriate. So let's start there. Mm-hmm. It's inappropriate completely. I just think that even in life, you have to have an idea of what you look like and who you are, and it doesn't mean you're insecure. But there's a certain approach that you should be making based on that. I think that your ideas get a little skewed when you're rich, though. When you're rich, you say things like even like Donald Trump, when he was like, well, when you're rich and famous, you can just grab him by the pussy. Right? And it's like, he's saying that because he literally did it. Like
that's real to him.
He literally, it's real to him. Like that's his reality. Mm-hmm. So as much as people were uncomfortable about him saying that, like that's a real reality. Like you can grab him by the pussy.
Yeah.
And with Busta Rhymes, he's practicing the same shit. Yeah. He like, I'm gonna jack my fake dick off and look at the woman in the audience that I think is attractive and say, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, it's definitely a different set of rules when you got bread.
Yeah.
Like when you out here. That's even Donald Trump's they questioned him again, I think, in one of those, what do they call it, like a dissertation or something? I forget what
happened now.
They asked him like, so, you know, because they were trying to accuse him of something else, and then they asked him about that. Like, so
Trump is Teflon, bro. They don't got nothing on this guy.
Yeah, but his answer to that question, you know, when they asked him about the grab him by the pussy thing, he was like, he made it more of a general thing. Like, yeah, you know, if generally if you're rich and you're wealthy, you can do that type of thing. You can grab a woman by the pussy. Generally, that's how it goes. But he kind of like
took himself out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't, and the unfortunate thing, I just don't think he's lying about that, even though that seems disturbing. In addition to, I just don't think that they have anything substantial enough to get Trump on. And here's the problem too, and I don't want to talk about politics, but I think Trump got so much dirt on other people that's going to stop him from getting in actual trouble. I think he got so much shit on people that by the time they supposed to like completely indict him or charge him on all this stuff, he'd be like, I know your brother's on crack. I know who sold him crack. and he was smoking crack for 25 years. I know what he was doing. I know your kids are stealing money from the school. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this motherfucker got so much dirt on people because even in the debates, he wasn't even talking about like policy. He was like, Hunter Biden's on crack again. Your son's on crack.
Yeah.
Shane Gillis had me dying. Shane Gillis, he was doing a Trump impression, and he was like, my opponent's gay. It's like just Trump just be just shitting on people. It's hard to debate.
He does. It'll be talking about like, global warming or something like that. And then the other politician will be like, yeah. And I think it's important for us to go out here and drive electric cars so that we can save our environment. And then like you were saying, I'd be like, my opponent is gay. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true or not. But I just know. I just heard he likes talking to men a lot. I just heard he likes talking to men.
He's like, I'm not sure. I heard Joe Biden was retarded. I didn't say he was. I'm hearing things. He may possibly be. He may possibly be retarded. I'm not sure.
At his math test. He just answered a couple questions wrong. I'm not saying he's retarded.
I'm not saying that, but someone else might. I'm not saying that.
That's funny.
Oh man. Oh, this is just hilarious, bro. Do you see what happened to you already know about Mitch McConnell freezing up that second time, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His batteries keep dying.
Yeah, bro. Joe Biden. Now what's happening with Joe is the last press conference he had, he was just saying shit, and they literally grabbed him and pulled him away. Did you see that? Mm-mm. Joe Biden was like, and you know what, man? He's like, we'll see where that's going in the economy in the syndrome of other people, but there's not much we really can do, and that's why I'm a kid from Scranton doing what I do for my country. God bless your heart. God bless you. And then somebody like his secretary or somebody just grabbed him by his arm and pulled him away from the podium.
The thing about this is that we know historically that there have been a staff of people protecting the image of politicians and presidents.
Oh, yeah, they did it with FDR, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He was fucking, his legs didn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
And the sons held him up.
Mm-hmm. So I think that this is just right on par for these presidents that are barely able to handle themselves, to be kind of hidden, or like their illness is kind of being hidden from the public. So
yeah. This is,
he got some sort of early onset Alzheimer's or something like that.
Yeah, this shit is not early no more. This shit is late. This motherfucker's Alzheimer's is on overtime. It's bad, but we got off topic in this Busta Rhymes shit. With Busta Rhymes, here's a problem too. You lose money when you do shit like this, because imagine AT&T has a temporary campaign and they want Busta Rhymes to be on their commercial, and they want him to like say this or that, but then they see him jacking his microphone off, and they're like, no, we can't have Busta part of this campaign. Let's go ahead and can that. And you just lost like $5 million.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's how it works. I'm not saying you have to kiss people's ass, but I'm like, when you make it to a certain space, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It could be trucking. It could be in some corporate setting, whatever. You just have to learn how to conduct yourself and when to speak and when not to. And when not to be doing too much or whatever the case, just in regular life. But Busta Rhymes is a 50-year-old man stroking his, I think he's like 51. Mm-hmm. Like, you're too old to be doing this shit.
I think he's older than that.
I think he's older than that.
Yeah, I think he's like 53. But I think that you're right. I think that when you get into these situations where, your likeness is, or your brand is the most valuable thing you have, and you realize that, like there are a lot of opportunities for, guys, they do it a lot nowadays where, I think they've been doing it throughout history, not just nowadays. But a guy like Busta Rhymes will, let's say there's a new rhyming game or something like that at Hasbro's, and they'll have a guy like Busta Rhymes do the commercial, you know, like he'd be in there rapping a song like rah rah like a Dungeon Dragon, and he'd be like rapping his old verses or something like that, and then they somehow find a way to blend it into the game and all this other stuff, and he get a little, you know, get a little change for being in a commercial and being like sponsored or whatever the case may be. But then you say, like you said, you see something like this and you're like, yo, we just don't want the conversation. I don't think the big corporations care. Like even for me, if I had some type of business or something like that, I don't care that Busta Rhymes is doing this. I think it's, you know, there is like the assault or harassment and elements and all that other stuff, but I wouldn't really care. I think it's just kind of like, it's just podcast conversation. Right. But in terms of like the outside conversation around it, like, you know what I mean? Like if I give him this sponsorship or I give him this commercial and then it's trended on Twitter, like, oh my gosh, Busta Rhymes has this commercial and he's the same guy that was playing with the microphone in a very suggestive way. And like, you just don't want that conversation. No. It's the same thing that, you know, like with sports, you know, they're very selective with who they allow on their team and around their team and stuff like that. And they don't want the Colin Kaepernicks and the Terrell Owens and these kind of guys on their team because they feel like they're locker room dividers and all this other stuff. So they would much rather stay away from it. So,
yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think it's kind of bullshit though. I think it's ultimately they just don't want those conversations surrounding their franchise. Mm-hmm. Because you talk about distractions, right? There's certain distractions they allow. Kind of like Taylor Swift coming to the fucking Chiefs game and this rumor going around with fucking Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
This shit is already annoying.
That's a distraction for sure.
That's a distraction for sure, but it's a distraction that's allowing the franchise to like have this entertainment thing. Like they don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But the problem is
it's a distraction. It's not a distraction if they're winning. I don't think it gets to like the team on that level. I think that Travis Kelce is showing up to practice and playing football and practicing and studying however much he studies. I think Patrick Mahomes is doing the same thing. But it's only a distraction primarily because if they start losing 3 or 4 games in a row, they won today, but you know, if they were off to a slower start and they were 0-3 and Taylor Swift was at the game, you know, cheering and stuff like that, and they kept putting the camera on her every time. It's the same thing that happened, you know, when Jessica Simpson was up there with the Tony Romo jersey and stuff like that. When they wasn't winning and they was losing playoff games, it starts to be a thing. Like, oh, is Jessica Simpson the reason why Tony Romo is not got his head in the game?
Right.
You know? So yeah,
it became like some big fucking distraction. Mm-hmm. Because and back then Jessica Simpson was real dumb.
Yeah.
She's like, it's tuna, it's chicken of the sea, but it's tuna. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And that was like a thing.
Yeah.
It was like, God damn, Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
Yeah, her and I don't get why the Kardashians are still a thing. I was at the gym and they showed this commercial for like a new season of the Kardashians. I didn't know that show was still on.
Yeah, they still going.
Oh my
crazy.
God.
Still
why do people watch and you know what's crazy is that show is fucking staged. It's all like written and people really watch it and they call it reality. Literally 95% of shows are not reality TV. Mm-hmm. You know that, right?
Yeah, of course.
All this love and hip hop and mob wives and this all fucking staged.
Yeah, they just put people in scenarios and then they kind of play them out, or they'll call people over to like, hey, you're going to argue with this person, or you're going.
It's so trash, and people really watch it. Like, and I've literally heard women have conversations about a reality show like it was a football game, and then Emily came up and then she walked up like, yeah, I'm here, bitch, and then they fought. And I don't know who won yet, but they're gonna show the next episode. I'm just like, oh my God, you guys are watching this bullshit?
Yeah, they love it.
Like, cut that shit off. I don't watch any reality TV. It's not real. Mm-hmm. You know, the only show, like the last reality TV that I watched that was actually entertaining was a long time ago. It was The Real World. That shit was pretty good. Mm-hmm. That was The Real World was the first reality show ever. Mm-hmm. And then after that was Survivor. Mm-hmm. But that was in like 98. Mm-hmm. But the first Real World was like in 92 or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Oh yeah, it was a long time ago. It was a really good show though.
Yeah.
And then they came out with Road Rules a little later. Like those shows
Real
were.
world. Remember they blended them. Real world rules.
Yeah. That's a trip, man. It was some good ones. That they had it was a couple of them that were like notable people, like a dude named Tech. Like I think he ended up getting a job with MTV and shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, they don't even have that anymore. I don't think.
Like reality TV like that.
No, like I'm talking about like MTV Real World. I don't think they have it at all.
Oh yeah, I don't think so.
No. You know what's sad though? I remember when MTV actually showed videos, bro.
Music videos.
It actually I remember when they had Yo MTV Raps. Mm-hmm. I remember when they showed like actual videos on there. Like
they had like TV show like TRL and those countdown shows.
TRL and what was the other one? TRL with Carson Daly was a really good one. Mm-hmm. And fuck. Oh, remember those shows? Real Life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember those shows.
Like Real Life, I'm Addicted to Porn. That was probably the most hilarious
like
one.
Porn addictions and it was all kind of crazy stuff on there. I want to be an actor. I want to be athlete, stuff like that. Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Yeah, and in 2003, ESPN had some dope programs that people forgot about. Mm-hmm. They had the And One mixtape that was on ESPN. Was dope. Yeah. They had a show called Playmakers. I don't know if you remember it. It was a football show.
What did they used to compete against retired athletes?
No. That's Pro versus Joe's. No, not that.
Okay.
It was a show called Playmakers. It was a dramatic football series. Mm-hmm. It was a real show, like a drama, but it was based on football players, and it became like controversial, and like a lot of NFL teams was like starting to complain because it started having like real scenarios that bled into the writing of the show.
I feel like was it like some gay? Was it a gay player on there?
It was a gay player on there, but you're thinking about the other show though. You're thinking about that show with that light skinned tight end guy. That one.
I don't remember.
You think about the show that was like on UPN or something?
No, yeah,
it was a gay guy on there though.
Yeah, that's what I think when I think about Playmakers, I would have to look at it and see. But I do remember that. You know what? Another show that they had on ESPN that was pretty dope was the I don't remember the name of it, but it was like the reality show with the boxers. Like they would have like a tournament style thing, you know, and then the boxers whoever won the championship would get like a contract with Everlast and stuff like that.
I found it. Playmakers, the most controversial series of the season, ESPN Original Entertainment. Yep, it was a really fucking good show. Playmakers is an American drama television series created by John Ederith, aired on ESPN from August 26, November 11, 2003. It depicts the lives of the Cougars, a fictional professional football team in unidentified city that shows Omar Gooding, because Omar Gooding was the like a fullback or something, the linebacker. And Tony Denson.
I remember the show.
It was a really fucking good show, man.
Yeah.
And it didn't last because it was a lot of complaints. There's only 11 episodes. And it was very forward thinking because they had a gay player on there.
Yeah, I remember.
So what that meant is probably there was gay players in the NFL back then that was too afraid to come out. Because now Colorado State, a gay player just came out before they played fucking Colorado. Did you see that?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
What position he play?
I don't know. Probably wide receiver.
Tight end maybe.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
One of the
fullback maybe.
One of the positions that involves butt stuff. That's the one he's in.
But a long snapper.
Bet you he had a lot of receiving yards. Oh, like, look, I need you to run a dig. Like, oh, I could do that, coach. I could dig anybody out.
You want me to hit the hole, coach? Okay.
Right here, I need you to pound the A gap. You got to get there as fast as possible.
I honestly, like, I don't know. The way I see it, I've never, like, at least like open. I remember when we were in college, at Bakersfield College, we played a guy that was openly gay.
Really?
Yeah, he was like dating one of the dude cheerleaders, and it was like a whole thing. I don't know how they found it on social media, but I remember the picture going around where he was hugged up with his boyfriend. Like, it was a real thing.
What position did he play?
I think he might have played tight end.
No way.
Yeah,
The black guy?
No, white dude.
I do.
But yeah, that's definitely been a thing. But yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I looked on this. I had another point, but I totally forgot what I was gonna say. But I was looking on this. Like, I seen the show Playmakers. I just typed in Playmakers canceled on Google. Mm-hmm. It says, this is just a little excerpt from Google. It says, but the NFL didn't like the portrayal of football and its players in a soap opera like dramatic storylines.
Told you.
ESPN canceled the series after one season, and it says, in quote, "I don't know that a hit show's ever been pulled," says a former ESPN executive vice president, Mark Shapiro, now the president of COO of Endeavor Group.
NFL, they pulled that shit. I remember that.
I wonder how that.
That was
I would
show.
like to dig into. Yeah, even Omar Gooding is talking about how they pressure ESPN to. That show. I don't know. I would be curious to talk to like the creators, because I understand like the pressure of the NFL and stuff like that, but it's because they can't actually put that show nowhere. Maybe because
I would love to watch that whole thing over again.
Yeah, but the issue with it is that if you go to HBO has a relationship with the NFL because they have Hard Knocks, right?
Yes.
If you go to Amazon, you can't put it on Amazon because
they have a relationship with the NFL Thursday night.
Yeah, can't put it on FX because they have Fox and
affiliate.
Yeah, and Disney and ABC, and everything is connected. So I don't know where you maybe can go to Netflix, but they even had the quarterback thing, and that's like a Peyton Manning production. But who knows what that means for the NFL.
Only place you could put this would need to be on one of the illegal streaming services, like when you buy those boxes. They could put it on there, and I feel like that show can create a buzz again. I don't think it's not. It's obviously its own product now. It has no affiliates because it was canceled.
No, I mean like having a rebrand of it, like a reboot of it.
I just don't know now. I think that the NFL, especially the NFL, is just way too sensitive about its image, and I think it's certain things they can't stop.
That's what I'm saying.
The movie with Will Smith where he played that African doctor, the concussion.
Yeah,
that was a bigger deal than this fucking show was.
But the thing is, it was only a thing because it's on ESPN. They play NFL games on their TV network. But if you go to a place that has no ties with the NFL, then you could rock. You could. I mean, I don't know where, like Tubi or maybe Apple.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but I think that there's, believe it or not, when you think about it, and this is unfortunate that there's this bullshit political ideology affiliated with certain programs and certain shows, but you can't put it on Fox, even though there's like right leaning like programming on Fox, and you got the MSNBCs of the world that's like very liberal shit. But it could fly on Rumble. Because Rumble is like, it's more of a right leaning platform, but it's also for people that even if you're not right leaning, if you have content that's kind of like not politically correct, they allow you to put it on their shit. So like Rumble is starting to get some steam. They took on that one, the dudes that got demonetized, was it Fresh and Fit? They even took them over there.
I could see that. So
it's like if you have some form of content that is, not gonna fly or it's gonna get blocked, you could just go to Rumble and put it behind a paywall.
Yeah.
And people will rock it. And even that dude Russell Brand, he's on Rumble now. But he just got accused of some sexual harassment.
Yeah, they're taking on all. They're not doing it the right way. Because it's one thing to like give everybody the space to say what they want to, but y'all getting all the people that have been accused of wild stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to fizzle out real quick by having a bunch of criminals.
No, not really, though. Because if even people like Andrew Tate, people like that, there's still a market because people want to hear people like him, bro.
Yeah,
what's the dude that fucking got in trouble with, recently? He owed like almost $1 billion or some shit.
Oh.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like there is a market for it, but when you're just giving criminals a platform, like it just doesn't work because they're gonna be in prison sooner or later after all these freaking allegations. Because that'd be some wild stuff like rape and sexual assault and all this other stuff that they've been accused of.
I don't know what's up with Russell Brand's situation. All I know is he went to Rumble a while ago, like recently. So yeah, he left, and he's not even conservative.
Yeah.
He's like a middle-leaning person that just has a objective, like opinion about shit.
Yeah, I just don't know if a platform should make their name on like giving the voice to like people that been kicked off of YouTube.
I agree. I don't think that there should be a platform given to people who are constantly going against the grain. But I don't really believe in political correctness either, because what happens is we it's like even with this. It's some far right leaning shit that's terrible, but it's some shit on the left where it's like, my son is 11 and he's trans and he's proud, and it's like, why is this on TV? Like no disrespect, but dog, like this is a kid, and this is okay to talk about on here. Y'all ain't got no problem putting this up.
Yeah,
this is a little bit much for me. It's a little bit much, man. Yeah, but. It's neither here nor there. Switching gears. Amazon addiction. Some of you listening right now, you just got a package right now. And you got a problem. Let me go into depth here. Uncovering America's Amazon obsession, state by state. And it talks about the states, but we're just going to skip all that and go right down to the key findings. And this is some pretty alarming stuff. The average American spends $91.75 on Amazon purchases each month. Prime members spend $110 on Amazon each month versus non-members who only spend $38 per month. Tennessee residents spend more than any other state, $124.22 per month on average. Okay. Then a quarter of Americans, 25%, shop on Amazon once a week or more often than over half. 51% only buy Prime products when shopping on Amazon. That's too much. My neighbor, dude, she has a fucking Amazon addiction. Like every other day, she has a fucking package on her door, dude. And it's like, yo, you don't need to buy stuff. Like I want to just put a fake box and with a note inside of it and just say, hey, you don't need to order anything else. It's okay. Get help. Americans spend $117 on Prime Day on average, with Prime members and Gen Xers spending the most, $124 and $148 respectively. God damn. A third of Americans, 33%, think the dollar amount they spent on Amazon this year is higher than what is currently in their savings account. So this is just bad spending. Yeah. And this statistic here is the worst. 34% of women would rather give up sex for a year than Amazon for a year. What kind of dick are y'all getting? And then also, I think women are willing to give up sex for a year because they be buying them roses from Amazon, man. They be having them motherfucking sex toys, and they don't have a problem giving up sex because they still getting sex. Jeff Bezos is fucking the shit out of them. So even if we not messing with these girls and they cut us off, Jeff Bezos is keeping that pussy wet year round.
Jeff Bezos coming to your front door.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos in a box. That's insane, man.
Yeah,
that's insane. They said that rose went viral. Did you know that? Yeah, this rose. I guess it's like a vibrator with a suction tool on it.
Yeah.
So as the girl is stimulating her part, it's also sucking and vibrating.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's not humanly possible.
No, my mouth can't do it.
Yeah.
Man, it's getting tough out here for us, ladies. It's crazy because it's getting bad, and women can say like, you're not consistent with it, or you're not licking it right, or whatever the case. And it's like you can eat pussy for so long that your like whole mouth get tired.
Yeah, you sort of getting lockjaw.
You're like, God damn.
Yeah. But nothing beats the intimacy of like another human being, though.
Nah, not really. But at the same time, some women be like, I'm independent. And that rose be tearing that pussy up.
Yeah.
And then here you come, you know, it's probably been, if they've been using that rose talking about I'm independent, and for like the last 6.5, 7 months, they've been just having dildos and roses. And then here you come along with just your regular analog dick. Your dick is analog. They've been dealing with digital all year long.
You got Atari dick.
Yeah. Your dick is like boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Your dick is still playing Pong from fucking the first Atari game. They on PS5 with that fucking shit. You over here playing Duck Hunt with your dick, and they got the whole new fucking system. They using Oculus on that pussy.
They got the Oculus. That's crazy.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think people have a real problem, man. I and just, you know, from me seeing, you know, like you said, you see your neighbors with the packages, and you see these Amazon trucks going to people's houses, your neighbors' houses, you know, consistently. It's like it ain't that much stuff at Amazon, and Amazon is convenient, right? Because you can get stuff in a day or 2 days, that you know that you would have bought at a like the grocery store or something like that, and you could just get it from Amazon and not have to leave your house. But after a while, it definitely becomes a problem, and I think that that's primarily a woman thing. Women definitely are like more compulsive buyers.
Oh my God.
You know, so if they see that it's Amazon Day or whatever the case may be, most women just get tricked into buying stuff just because they think it's a deal. Like, oh, I don't want to miss out on this opportunity to save 20% on whatever the case may be.
Women are toxic consumers.
Yeah.
Like a woman will wake up and just start driving to Target and don't even know why they're doing it.
And women, the thing with women is they're excited about saving money. But you're not saving money, you're just spending less money.
Yeah.
So women be like, oh my gosh, it's a 25% off on all these things. And then they're just spending
how do they do it?
Like, oh my gosh, I'm just instead of spending $1, I spent 75 cents. Oh my gosh, I had to do it. Babe, this is just such an amazing deal. You won't believe how much money I saved. The nigga sitting there looking like you spent $700 just because you saved $300. It's not a deal.
Just like the universal voice. Oh my God, I just saved so much. Hey babe, check it out.
The nigga is just brewing like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh man, I already said the joke last week that I thought about. I gave it away actually. Like if you told a woman to stay in her place, she would turn around and drive to Target.
That's hilarious.
Because that's a woman's place for sure. Yeah,
Now they would drive to Amazon now.
Oh no,
To the warehouse.
Yeah, they'd be like, I need my package earlier. Like, I need it a little faster. It's like, damn, we bring that shit tomorrow. Fuck. You just ordered it 20 minutes ago. But I have to go to work in the morning, so if you don't have my package, I don't know what I'm gonna oh my God.
That's crazy.
Shit. I've got some shit so fast from Amazon that it fucking tripped me out though.
I for sure
I was like, how the fuck is it here already?
Yeah, it's a couple items on your thing, depending on where it's at. Like, I got the vending machine, so I bought some Doritos Cool Ranch, and they because a lot of stores, like grocery stores you walk into, they have a bunch of variety packs, and as people that consume stuff out of vending machines, they don't want all the stuff in the variety pack. They just want the Doritos or they want the good stuff. So I was like, man, I got to find a way to just get the chips that people want and not buy all this extra stuff to just, be hanging around. So, I looked on there and they had the Cool Ranch, the little 1 ounce bags of the Cool Ranch chips. And I got them the next day. Man,
I'm going to tell you what would win in a vending machine is adding little items that are essential, but just adding small amounts. In a vending machine, if you put some condoms in there, I think they would sell. Also putting some maxi pads in there, some tampons.
Yeah,
I think that would sell for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if you want maxi pads next to your chips though, or your honey buns.
What's wrong with that?
It's just not a good look.
It'll just take the moisture out of the honey bun.
It's crazy.
Imagine a girl take that and use it and be like, "That honey?"
Nah, it'd be the dude. He'd be like eating her out after like it'd be the 7th day of her period. And they're like, tastes like a honey bun. Is that cinnamon?
He'd be like, "Is that cinnamon?" Nigga got blood all over his face. Oh, he's like, "Oh no."
It's a real cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, that cinnamon challenge was wild back in the day. People was dying over that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. You guys got to get help. I think what it is, you know what? This is just my twisted brain, but I think people love Amazon because it's the closest thing to Christmas. They get
there is definitely, especially the way that they brand in the packages now. It's like, it's an experience. I ain't gonna front. And I'd be excited, like, when I get something new, I'd be like, oh, man. Like, even if you know what it is.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos is a new Santa Claus, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeff Bezos.
Sometimes I go to open my package and I think in my mind, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, what fun it is to ride on Jeff Bezos' sleigh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeff Bezos, man.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
That's the only way you know you're not on the naughty list is when you get an Amazon package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows when you've been sleeping.
He knows when you're awake.
He knows if you've been bad or good.
So be good for goodness sake.
He knows if you got Amazon Prime or not.
Yeah. And y'all got to stop sharing Amazon Prime accounts. It's only like, well, how much is it?
I don't remember. I have it though.
Only $7.99.
Yeah. I like Amazon Video too. I indulge in the movies. They have some good movies sometimes.
Yeah.
I was able to watch my Niners the other day.
Yeah, that was great. What they're doing with football, I was just saying this the other day. Their production value is amazing.
It is. It's really good.
Like, they got the next gen stats on there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like the way, I don't know, just the camera angles and stuff like that.
They're doing
like,
some special stuff.
Yeah, because sometimes when you'll watch your football team on the local channel, like say it's on like CBS or something like that, sometimes like the production, it don't be hidden. And sometimes, you know how the telltale sign for me is if it's a great football game is the announcer. Like when you have those recognizable voices, the Troy Aikmans and the Kirk Herbstreits and all these, is it Kurt or Kirk? Kirk, yeah.
Herbstreit.
When you have these with those recognizable voices on there, you know, it kind of goes along with the production value.
Yes.
Sometimes it'd be like the local news anchor, or like the third string quarterback for the Bengals back in 1990. It was just like, I don't want to hear this nigga talk about football.
And it's just so lackadaisical.
Yeah, it's just a different energy. But when you get the guys, then you be like, oh, okay, this is going to be a good game.
He launches it from the 15-yard line. And, reception. It's like, dude, get another job.
You got to get somebody else on here.
Do you remember, I think his name was Ben Stein. You remember him?
Vaguely.
Ben Stein was a guy that always sounded like he was really drowsy all the time. He's like, he used to do the Clear Eyes commercial for Visine.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Clear Eyes. If you have something wrong, just use Clear Eyes.
Yeah.
Like, that's how he talked.
Yeah.
Some of these announcers be doing that.
Yeah.
They're like, he got the ball at the 5-yard line, and he got sacked, but the ball's out. Fumble going the other way.
Yeah.
Touchdown 49ers.
That happens a lot in college too, because it's so many games that some of these guys, you just be like, who is this dude?
Imagine him during sex, bro. I'm about to bust. Oh my God. Terrible guy. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Let me see here. I think I had something else there. No, man. That's it. I just think that the one that stuck out to me the most is 34% of women would give up sex for a year.
Yeah.
For Amazon Prime. That's just like, God damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, I don't know, who knows what the sample size of that statistic came from, but it sounds good, I think even the toys and all that stuff, I think it's great for a while. But I think that women, I think human beings, we crave intimacy.
Yeah.
You know, you could jack off as much as you want to, but you know, having the real thing, or you know, for women, you know, whatever type of toys they got, the rose or the little bunny toys or whatever the case may be, all that is cool. But you know, I think what I would really want to know is like, would a woman. Yeah, I just think after a while, you just, whether the sex is good or not, you just want the feeling of a man and his, you know, his arms and all this other stuff.
I don't know about women these days, though. I don't know, man. No, I kind of agree with you, though. Mm-hmm. I think that even with all that, it's just the connection and intimacy between another person.
Yeah, that's why we have dating apps. Because if not, like, you know, they would be swiping right on the rose and dildos and stuff like that.
He was like, "Oh my God, we matched." He won't message me back. It's a dildo, you fucking idiot.
You don't got
these sex toys for women is just too aggressive though, man. Mm-hmm. It'll be like a dildo connected to a chain in a motherfucking chain link. You're like, God damn, what are you gonna do with that? Man, one time I seen a dildo with a trailer hitch connected to it. Like, she about to back a 4x4 into that pussy. God damn.
That's crazy.
Oh, you got the Jeep Cherokee pulling that thing, man.
Yeah. Now they gonna change the game up when they start having the like, you know how they got the Apple Watch?
Uh-huh.
They're gonna have like the Apple dildo.
No.
And it's gonna have like all, because the app, you know, with the Apple Watch, it measures when you work out, it measures your heart rate. Yeah. It knows when you in an emergency, it calls a hospital if your heart slow down too low, and all these different things.
When you're awake, kind of like Santa.
So they're gonna have a dildo that got that same capability. It's gonna measure the viscosity of your pussy. It's gonna measure the tightness of it. It's gonna measure how long it's been dry.
Oh, whenever it get dry, it's just gonna be a turkey icon. No, you know what? I think it's gonna react whenever you get stressed out. Whenever like a woman gets stressed out, that's when the vibrator is gonna turn on.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, I think that, you know, if they did have like the smart dildos, like that had some type of, you know, technology that, you know, measured your body in some way, shape, or form, it would probably lead to better sex. Because, you know, there's a lot of factors that goes into like a woman being at the peak of their, you know, arousal or whatever the case may be. And it would just help women learn themselves more, so they'll know like, oh, okay, at this time of the month, like I'm a little bit more wet, or at this time of the month I'm usually a little bit more horny, or whatever the case may be, and then they can kind of get it down to a science.
They need to make a program for us so we can know what to keep doing or what to change up. Yeah. Like during the action, it just like a little, you put like some headphones on. Yeah. Like put some like little iPod or earpod things in, and it'd be like, keep licking right there. Yeah. Like don't change up the licks. Yeah. You
need some like a woman with a very soothing voice in your ear.
Like a coach, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would help us out a lot. I would use the program.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Just hold on for 2 more strokes. Don't pull out now. You're going to make her come.
Make a left. You're like, wait a minute.
Remember that, you know, I got mad the other day. I was riding around. Sometimes I get randomly mad at like some liberal stuff.
What happened?
Remember they had like the non-binary voice on the non-binary Google voice?
Oh, yeah. It sounded like a lady guy.
It's like, nigga, what? It's a non-binary voice.
Oh, man. If it was like a right-leaning or like a conservative voice, what would it sound like?
Like real raspy. Like Alex Jones. Like I can't do it, but
you're gonna make a left over here, man. I don't know what you're doing. I told you left, man. You passed the wrong place.
Yeah, it might have a little bit of an accent in there.
God damn it, you made the wrong left. Sandy Hook was a hoax. Make a U-turn and go back the other way.
Yeah, man.
Oh, dang. Alex Jones is so crazy. All right. Switching.
That a UFO helicopter like mixed together. Yeah.
Alex Jones sound like he just eats sandwiches full of mayonnaise. He just be like, oh, the mayonnaise sandwich sure is good. All right, switching gears. Your 20s is not an excuse to waste time, okay? Now, I think that all of us that are out of our 20s now, me being 38, Keith at 31, I think what happens is in your 20s, you kind of make excuses for yourself, and not even excuses. You just become used to, like, I'm gonna go have some drinks, or I'm not gonna do this, or I'm not gonna do that. I'm still young, you know. That's always a cop out and an excuse. Like, people are the most promiscuous in their early ages, and then some young people are like, I just want to get it out of my system, you know. But if we see a person that's 19 or 20 and they get married, we like, damn, you got married too young. But did they?
Yeah.
You know, what if they spend enough time from the age of 18 to 21, like, you know, clubbing or drinking, and they're like, that's not for me. I do want a genuine connection. I want a wife, or I want a husband, and they actually are still happily married. That can happen. I just think the human experience, most people have FOMO, and they have this extreme fear of missing out on life's experiences. But here's the issue. Life experiences that offer you nothing, they need to have an expiration. And a lot of young people, they go to clubs every week. They have a bunch of meaningless sex nonstop. They're not making any money. They're just taking jobs that are part-time, and they're wasting a lot of time. And in this economy, you can't do that. You don't have the luxury of saying, hey, I'm going to wait till I'm 28 to start trying to make some money. Like, bro, the way you are in your 20s sets up your 30s. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And you could spend your whole 30s playing catch up, dude.
Yeah.
At some point, you gotta dial it back and say, hey, man, I say I stopped going to clubs when I was about 26.
Yeah, I was somewhere in there too.
I remember you going to clubs, man.
I mean, I used to when I was my early 20s. I used to go, not so much in Bakersfield because I wasn't here a lot in my early 20s.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Like when I was at a, you know, living in different states and going to school and stuff like that. Yeah, I would be out doing my thing.
It's just whack, bro.
Yeah, I remember one day, I just woke up one day, and for me, I don't need no huge like coming of age story. Right. It's literally just like I woke up one day and like, yo, this is stupid. Like, what are we doing? We spending all this money. I don't even drink alcohol, so I'm in there with a bunch of drunk people. Like, you know, and, you know, you either trying to holler at women or you not, or it's just weird, or the energy is like fights going on. It just the whole atmosphere is trash.
Yeah, that place is the devil, man.
Yeah.
It's over. It's just what I can tell you from two ways. Because one, going to clubs and also bouncing. So when you go to a club, obviously you're dealing with people. And then if you're a bouncer, you see some shit.
Yeah.
I seen this chick leave with a different dude a couple different times in a week. Like lead a club with a different dude. I'm just like, this is nasty.
Yeah.
And these are the type of people you encounter. So these clubs is full of STDs. It's a cesspool for disease.
Yeah. There's a lot of like curious women in there too. That just like, you know, and curious in a way where like I don't even want to tell that story. But yeah, I think it's just, you just run into those type of people. And that's the norm, you know, and it's like it's eras too. People are coming in droves. So the new crowd of 21-year-olds, you know, they coming in there to get their drink on and they promiscuity. And then there's also like the people that are like Eddie's age or my age, where they may have just got out of a long relationship, or they may have just got divorced, or whatever the case may be, and now they in there trying to relive, like, you know, for all the time that they lost. So, but back to the original point, I just think that if I think for me, you know, I like, there's a fraction of regret that I live with every day that I haven't that I didn't in my 20s, like capitalize on the things that I wanted to. And, you know, I tell that to, you know, if there are people that are in their 20s, you know, listening to the podcast, you know, just know that all the dreams, all the goals, all the aspirations that you have, as soon as, you you're 29 and 364 days, and then that clock strikes midnight, and you know, officially 30 years old. All those things are like, it just kind of like, if something was in your grasp, or in, you know, you were this close to doing something in your 20s, whether it was being a musician or being an actor or starting your own business or whatever the case, whatever that big dream was you had in your 20s. In your 20s, you got time. You got all the time in the world until you hit 30. And when you hit 30, all the dreams, all the goals, and all the aspirations, it just gets like astronomically farther away.
Yep.
And not because it's not tangible, it's just because like real life sets in.
Yep.
Like people have kids, and you might have had kids like in your 20s, but that child is getting a little bit older. They're starting to play sports now. They may be in kindergarten. More. Yeah, they got, you know, they have different desires, or they want to do gymnastics and all these different things. And it's like life is just so much easier in your 20s, like whether it was trying to finish school, you know, like I talk to a lot of people where they're like, man, I want to go back to school, or I've been thinking about going back to school. And now they 35, you know, 33 years old. And they're just looking at these situations like, dang, I don't even know how to do it. I don't have the time to do it. I got 3 kids now. Like, where am I going to find the time to you know?
And also, I think you need to be very cognizant of the decisions you make in your 20s, because you will have those decisions you make in your 20s turn into obstacles in your 30s. So if you 21 and you have a kid, right? You don't think nothing of it. You're like, we young, and then even when you young and you have a kid, you still a kid yourself, so you still doing child stuff, and you still learning how to be a man or a woman, and then you get a little older, the kid getting older now, and you like 28 now, and you still really don't want to get a regular job. You didn't get your degree. Now your kid is older, and if you come from poverty, you know how that is. Not only do you have the price and the cost of living going up, but your kid has activities, and you want to be able to pay for that stuff. So you got to be careful, man. There's so many things. You know what's crazy too? What a lot of women are, like women in this situation I'm about to mention, OnlyFans. There are a bunch of 19, 21, 23-year-old women that are getting OnlyFans, and they're being naked. They're having sex. Okay, fine. I don't think that they have the foresight to see how they're going to feel about that in their 30s. Yeah. Because from a small sample size, there are certain things I would say or believe in my early 20s that I completely unsubscribed to in my 30s. So if you got all this content of your body and you getting fucked and all this shit, by the time you 35, you're going to wish that shit is off the internet, but it never goes away. It will always be there. There will always be videos of you doing something in your 20s you're not proud of, but in your 30s, you dealing with it. It became an obstacle. So we have to be aware, just because we're young, it does not give us a license to bullshit around. We have to be a lot more intentional. And also, sometimes the biggest issue with us is you could be a smart young person. I've known a lot of people who are 20, 19, whatever, and you could be smart, but you're only smart for a 20-year-old. Your prefrontal cortex is still not developed. You're still a stupid motherfucker at 21. I don't give a fuck how smart you are. Because I've known some people who were very smart, right? They will ace every test, every exam. They could write a 50-page paper in 3 days, right? But they the same person that getting arrested for a fight at the club because you dumb. So you got to make sure that you're not doing things that become obstacles in your 30s, because I know a bunch of people who have that. That's kids. It's some people that got STDs they cannot get rid of, like AIDS, like people getting that. Having unprotected sex, motherfuckers getting herpes, all kinds of shit. Yeah. It's nuts, man.
I think back to the OnlyFans thing, there are people that, you know, here in Bakersfield that we know personally that have those, you know, those things. But the thing about it is, like, you know, no matter what, those things always live outside of that website.
Yes, they do.
OnlyFans.com. Those things live on different websites because other people know who they are.
Yes.
And because other people know who they are, they're going to screen record it. They're going to, save it to their laptop, and it's going to be,
On
in
Pornhub,
on
everywhere else.
Pornhub and Reddit, and it's going to be on their iCloud
Forever.
and wherever forever. And the thing about it is your kid is getting older every day.
Yep.
And right around that that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade is when they start to really get familiar with the internet. And and you can, obviously you can monitor what your kid is doing on their phone, but their friends may not have the same parental guidance as your kid does. So, it's going to be, your child's best friend named Jared or whatever. He gonna be pulling up to school like, hey man, is this your mom?
This your mom?
Here? Is your dad right here?
Is your mom taking 2 dicks at once?
Yeah, and it's just embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
I think that, like, what you're alluding to, like in your 20s, you got to start making decisions for the rest of your life, and not making decisions only for you, making decisions for, your kids and, your family and stuff like that.
And this is not shame, first of all. So it's some people that they'll interpret this as shame, like you're shaming sex workers, blah, blah, blah. It's not shaming. What it is this. It's like if you have a child, this is a reality. Mm-hmm. The reality for them is that they're going to be in class because there's already people getting teased. Amber Rose's son gets teased because his mom has OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. And she told him, well, look, mama needs to make money. Mm-hmm. And it's like, in a way, that's selfish. You could do other things to make money. You don't have to do this.
That's a lot of jobs in the world.
You just choose to do it. And it is what it is. Okay, fine. But here's the problem, too. It goes beyond that.
You can be a computer scientist at OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said what?
Saying you can be a computer programmer at OnlyFans. You don't have to be showing your titties on OnlyFans.
That's true. Yeah. But there's so many things. Like as a man, right? Let's say as a man, you had a really bad drinking habit in your 20s and you drank the whole time. You partied all the time. You never really created stability for yourself. You had bullshit jobs. Your kids got older, and in your 30s, you clean yourself up and you stop drinking. But you spent all that time with no momentum going into your 30s. And now you playing catch up. Now you got to get your finances right. Now you got to try to build better relationship with your kids because when they was little, you was a drunk the whole time. Like this is real scenarios, and it's bad, right? Or you was a deadbeat dad that wasn't around, and now you're trying to make up for it because it became an obstacle in your 30s. Mm-hmm. No different than a girl who was, sleeping around, just being the biggest hoe in the world. And now she's in her 30s. She wants a good man and she wants to settle down. But here's the issue. The issue is it's not a thing of judgment. It's a thing of a man knowing that you was doing this wild stuff and you don't have any momentum of being the person you say you are now. Mm-hmm. So if you was hoeing all the way up to 29 years old and now you 30 and you like, I just want to settle down. What journey have you started? What was the prequel to you meeting me? Mm-hmm. Like if you was just ho, 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 and now you like, I want to settle down, and I'm the first person you want to experiment that with? Am I supposed to be like just so enlightened by that? Like, oh my God. Like, no. It's no different than, let's say a man, right? Let's say a man was a slime ball and he cheated on every woman he ever was with in his 20s, right? And he gets in his 30s and he meets this girl and he loves her and shit. And then he actually tells her, I've cheated on every woman I've been with. That's going to make her think, that's going to make her question her relationship. Mm-hmm. Is that not pertinent information, Keith? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think it's pertinent information that you was a hoe. So if you was a hoe and you was fucking everybody, and then here's this guy that cheated on every woman he's ever been with, I feel that's both of those things are pertinent information. Mm-hmm. You got this girl that don't got no self-control and slept with everybody. You got this dude that's fucked everybody and cheated on every woman he been with. You have to weed those behaviors away early. So if you got a hoe phase is not supposed to last 10 years. I don't know if y'all know that, right?
I think that one of the things that I think I'm starting to think of now is like, I understand the whole science behind the brain development and 100%. The decision making.
Right.
But at the same time, like that excuse gets a little old because if that was such a pertinent argument, then I think that more younger people would get in more trouble, if that makes sense. Like, they say like, well, your brain isn't developed, so you make a lot of dumb decisions. I think we make dumb decisions relative to like a normal human being, but it ain't like because your brain isn't fully developed, you're out doing mass murders or like people are having most young people are not walking around high school with children, or they're not getting pregnant in high school and all these different things. So I say that to say like when kids do make like great decisions, or they're not making terrible decisions, we kind of give that a pass. But when people make bad decisions, or they're making these life altering decisions, it's like, oh, their brain's not developed yet. So so I just think like it's just a very convenient way to say like your brain isn't developed. But I was just thinking about that the other day. You know what I mean? Because that's something that people say a lot. Like they're young, that they make their brain isn't fully developed, which is true. But also there are people that brain isn't developed and still make good decisions. So
you have to rely on your best judgment.
Yeah.
I think that we change, but it's not always drastic. I think that if you're a complete piece of shit, even at the age of 21, you can still be that same piece of shit by the age of 31, but you might not be as big a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. You're right, though. You're right. It is true. Your brain is not, your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until like almost 30 years of age. But young people use that shit as a cop out. Look, I'm young. I'm having fun. I'm not tripping. This and that. And also, too, when people are not being punished for their bad decisions, they think it's right. So think about it. The alcoholic dude, right? He out every week. Or he cheating on his girl every week. He having fun. He having drinks. He getting hella pussy. You know what I'm saying? And he doing this all the time. And he ain't caught no diseases yet. Ain't nobody beat him up yet. He ain't got a DUI yet. But he's still ruining his life. Yeah. But he hasn't been punished for it yet. So he figures like, why should I stop my fun? I'm only 27. I'm only 26. Yeah. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
But if you really look at your life, like from the outside looking in, you a loser, my guy.
Yeah.
You a straight loser. And then with women, they're like, look, it's sexual empowerment. I can do what I want. I'm having fun. But what you don't realize is you're not being punished for what you're doing because, it's just sex to you. You just getting your nut off. You having fun. You making money doing what you're doing. It ain't no big deal, right? No big deal to you. Ain't nothing happened. You ain't caught no STDs. You ain't been arrested. Ain't nobody assaulted you. None of that. So everything's fine, right?
Yeah.
But you forgot that you had a kid or you had 2 kids. And now you sucking dick and fucking on camera. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. Somebody got to do the job, right? But at the same time, when your kid becomes of age, these videos will never be gone.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the first generation of kids that are OnlyFans kids. They're going to be literally, that's why your mama's on OnlyFans. Like kids are literally getting teased for it already.
Yeah, it's going to be a roast.
Yeah. And look, man, your decisions as a person affects people. You know why I know that? Because my father had a drug addiction. And what he did affected the whole family.
Yeah.
And it was tough. It wasn't just like it was him by himself that was doing drugs. It almost like all of us was affected by him doing it.
Yeah.
And it hurt. It's no different than somebody being an alcoholic and it dragging the whole family down. People think that their behavior does nothing to no one else.
I think one of the things too is that a lot of people don't think, and this is not necessarily a 20s conversation. This is just like a young people conversation. Because there are like these, like you said, like these sexually liberated people nowadays. Like it's okay for, these any age, whenever you want to experiment sexually, you should do it. And kids are hormonal human beings, so they should, be able to do what they want to safely and all these different things. Which I think that there's some merit to that. There are kids are going to, we can't control what they do. All we can do is, provide them with the information. But I think a lot of people they don't, when they have those conversations, they don't think about like the ramifications of, young people doing these acts. So I'm going to speak about it in a way where it's like a teenager, but the same stakes are at play at 20 years old. So like, I know a guy, the first time he ever had sex, he had his first kid.
Whoa, man.
Lost his virginity.
Whoa.
And it was, and you know, for the most part, you know, some people lose their virginity to their partner or their girlfriend or whatever.
Oh man, that sucks.
A lot of times, like, as people, we just trying to like, whatever girl will accept us, whatever girl will spread their legs open for a guy, they gonna, you know, let him, or whatever, we'll lay with them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the guy, first time he ever had sex in high school, you know, he got the girl pregnant.
Oh my God.
And you know, there's many other instances where, you know, kids are having this just, you know, they're just exercising their hormones or whatever, you know, positive spin they like to put on it. And, you know, they end up getting pregnant, and it forever alters your life, you know? So I just say that to say, like, you know, not necessarily that, but just saying, like, a lot of the decisions that we make and we don't put much thought into, they have real ramifications, you know, and it may not be sex. It may not be having a kid. It could be, you know, it could be something as similar, something as simple as going out to a club or partying or, you know, skipping class or whatever the case may be. All these, like, you know, these small decisions that we make, they can have, like, you know, life altering, you know, stakes attached to them. Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Imagine you busting 1.5 minutes and you got a kid out of that.
Damn, that's gotta suck.
Yeah.
That probably was the biggest nut since freaking. That was like one of Professor Clump nuts. They was talking about, you got all that's been built up for 35 years. Oh man, that's gotta suck.
Yeah, it's a trip.
And that's the most virgin thing you could do is not use a condom.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And you know what's fucked up about some men though, young men? It was like back in the day, it was a rumor like young men was telling girls like, Come on, you can't get pregnant your first time. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's that going on.
That's the most fucked up shit you could say to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
My God. You know, even back in the day when I was a virgin, I was never that hard up for pussy. Mm-hmm. While I was willing to lie for it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It goes both ways though. Like, we have to be just more informed across the board.
My God.
Yeah. But I think, like I said before, you know, being 31 and, you know, kind of freshly out of my 20s, I just, I realized that there are I don't live with like regret on a day-to-day basis, but I feel like if I graduated college like 2 or 3 years earlier, we started the podcast like 2 or 3 years earlier, or if I started my career like 2 or 3 years earlier, you know, just thinking about where things will be. And I know that I will get, you know, to where I want to be eventually. But as of right now, I do like once a month, I'd be just like, dang, dog, like, man, if I had got my grades up here, if I, when I was in junior college, if I did this, or if I got my grades up, or if I, actually went to this school or that school, like what would life look like? So I don't know. It's just, so I just say that to say like anybody, like, you don't want to be the person living with regret, and I say that also as being a person that, just went to a funeral, for somebody that was 91 years old. Yeah. And, when you hear some of these people talk, you start to hear, the regrets in their tone, regrets in their when they share their stories, how they regret certain things in their childhood. So, the easiest way not to live with that regret is to learn from the people around you and learn from, me and Eddie telling you these different stories and scenarios on this podcast.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't really know how much else we got on that. Just, man, just don't allow your age to be used as an excuse.
Yeah.
I know you having fun, but in the midst of all that fun, it's almost like people get drunk off of the life they're living. They get distracted by what they're doing. And because they're not being punished for their behavior, they don't recognize it as a problem. But that shit always ends, bro.
The-
That free ride always, because here's what's going to happen too. I want to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be a day where OnlyFans ends.
Yeah.
Every major business that was hot,
closed.
There was a time when LimeWire was where everybody went to download free songs. That shit ended. Napster, it's OnlyFans is no different than things that come and go. So when they demonetize sex online or things like that, when that gets demonetized, you're gonna have to snap into a reality.
Yeah.
And by the time you snap into that reality, and let's say, for example, you actually find an avenue that's non-sexual where you can make a lot of money doing it, whether it's in, I don't know, advertising or whatever, podcasting or who knows what it is, right? By the time you do that and you look at all the stuff you've done, you're going to be like, damn, you're going to be like 38, 39 years old. Like, man, I did porn and now it's all over the internet and I wish it was gone.
Yeah, now you're trying to get a regular job and one of the employees have seen your OnlyFans account.
Yeah, and even if it's somehow, and the fucked up thing is, you got to realize there was like a mini documentary of a bunch of different like porn sites and stuff that have been deleted due to lawsuits, like due to girls like reporting, bullying or whatever, and they literally deleted these companies, right? But the content is still out there. Mm-hmm. So these girls that reported abuse or bullying or
revenge porn,
whatever, like the content or the website was taken down, but they have no control over where the content, if it was downloaded, where it's at. That shit is still on the internet.
Yeah, it's always going to be there.
Yeah, man. That's the scary part. You got anything.
Yeah.
If that whack ass Ray J tape is out.
Yeah.
That shit's still out.
No, what I was going to say earlier was like, the important part of this conversation too is that people are starting their careers younger and younger, right? So you're seeing now. I was just at a repass, and my girlfriend's one of her cousin's husbands was he was talking to me and he was showing me some of his kids was playing football. And they young. I don't know how old they are, but they were. It was some camp in Houston, and they had one-on-one drills for the defensive linemen, and then they had one-on-one drills for the cornerbacks and the receivers and stuff like that. And these are like little kids, they probably 5th grade, 6th grade, or something like that. And I was just telling them, I was like, "Yo, this is like when I was coming up, we didn't have like the camps like this, like." The football cycle or the time you start football now, especially with flag football, they're still playing tackle football young, but with the flag football and everything else, and the camps and the training and stuff that a lot of these kids are putting in, they're like setting themselves up to be the next future NFL stars.
Right.
Whereas when we had off time, we was just playing with our friends or walking across Bakersfield or catching a bus or something like that. Like now these kids are like training and setting themselves up like professional athletes year round. So that's just football. But in every aspect, I was just looking on YouTube and I was looking up some audition information on YouTube. And this girl made a video and she was like, this is how I hold auditions. This is how I cast my people. And this girl, she was probably like in junior high, you know what I mean? Already shooting films and auditioning people. So I'm like, yo, like, that person, like I said, that wants to get up at 35 years old and say like, man, I want to make a rap album. It's somebody 10 years old that's like working every day making beats. And we've seen it online, the little white kid that be producing and recreating beats and stuff like that. Like these kids are younger and younger. And, so that should be your motivation to not try to, spend your 20s just having fun. Like spend your 20s like having fun, but also spend your 20s working towards something, because you don't want to be that person that gets left behind at 30 years old, trying to make it. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Don't be that guy, because by then, there's going to be technology is going to keep shifting. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be the guy that's like in your late 30s. It's like, hey, man, I'm about to go pass out some mixtapes. And it's like, brother, nobody does that anymore.
Yeah. Technology going to leave you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try to bootleg some DVDs and sell them. Ain't nobody doing that no more, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get with the times, sir. Well, looks like we made it to the end of this one. I was about to forget all the socials. Head on down to atruckersmind.com for merch. Head on down to _truckersmind_podcast on social media to follow us on Instagram. Head to ATMPOD for a friendly donation. And also head over to our YouTube at A Trucker's Mind Podcast, okay? Now, if you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to A Trucker's Mind Podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here.
Peace.